At least 6 people have been reportedly killed after a vehicle drove into pedestrians and cyclists in Manhattan in New York. A suspect has been arrested. The incident happened in the area of Chambers and West Streets in the upmarket Tribeca neighbourhood. It's being treated as a terror attack. Let's go straight to America now and speak to our correspondent Jane O'Brien. What more can you tell us, Jane?
Well, we are, as you say, getting reports that 6 people are confirmed dead, at least 6 people, and there are reports of multiple injuries. This is being treated as an intentional attack, although the police say that clearly at this early stage in the investigation there is no known motive. But certainly the FBI is treating it as a terrorist attack. We do now know that Home Depot, a very large DIY store here in the US, has confirmed that the truck involved in this was actually a rental truck and one of their rental trucks. That's all they're saying at the moment. They haven't given any more details as to who actually rented it. We do know that the driver entered West Street, which is a very busy road running the length of Manhattan, with a bicycle path that is extremely popular, from Chambers Street, and then drove into these cyclists before he then fled on foot. Now, the reports that we're getting was that he left the vehicle brandishing what appear to be imitation firearms and was then shot by police. We're not sure of his condition. We believe that he is still alive. Police say that they have no further details as to who he was at the moment, but we're expecting some sort of update within the next hour or so. We also know that the President, Donald Trump, has been briefed. He has said that his thoughts and prayers are with all those affected, and the Mayor of New York, Bill de Blasio, is on his way to the scene.
There's been a lot of reports on social media, Jane. I just wonder if you can give us a sense of what eyewitnesses have been saying.
Well, all these reports, of course, can't be independently confirmed as yet, and that's always a danger with social media. Some people are merely repeating what they've heard, but the sorts of stories that we've been hearing, both on network television and Facebook and Twitter, are scenes hearing multiple gunshots, 8 to 10 gunshots fired, people running screaming from the scene, and this van ploughing into cyclists going the wrong way up the bicycle lane before he got out of the vehicle and appeared to be running around. Some people said he appeared confused, frightened. He was brandishing what appeared to be guns. The police believed that they were imitation, and he was then shot. It's also, I think, important to say that police aren't looking for anybody else in connection with this. They say that the driver is at the moment the only suspect. So there are no further reports of an armed shooter on the loose in the area. But as I said, eyewitness reports on Twitter, on social media, they have to be confirmed. They are just that. They are reports, and we do need to independently confirm them.
OK, Jane, we'll leave it there for now.
Good afternoon, everybody. Steve, we good? Yes, sir. All right. Just keep in mind, this incident occurred a little more than 2 hours ago, so all the information that we're giving you right now is preliminary and subject to change. After I speak, you're going to hear from Governor Cuomo and Mayor de Blasio. Bill Sweeney, from the Assistant Director in charge of the New York FBI office, is standing up here with me, too. We have members of my executive staff. We have Cy Vance and members of the state police. First, I just want to say that today there was a loss of innocent life in Lower Manhattan. The dead and injured were just going about their days, heading home from work or from school or enjoying the afternoon sun on bicycles. This is a tragedy of the greatest magnitude for many people, for many families here in New York City and beyond today. I want to commend the response of our NYPD officer that was on post near the location who stopped the carnage moments after it began. Also, the work of the first responders, including the fire department and EMS personnel, surely helped save additional lives. As I said, I'll give more of a chronology in a couple of minutes, but right now I'd like to introduce Mayor de Blasio.
Thank you, Commissioner. It's a very painful day in our city. Horrible tragedy on the West Side. Let me be clear that based on the information we have at this moment, this was an act of terror, and a particularly cowardly act of terror aimed at innocent civilians, aimed at people going about their lives who had no idea of what was about to hit them. We, at this moment, based on the information we have, we know of 8 innocent people who have lost their lives and over a dozen more injured. We know that this action was intended to break our spirit. But we also know New Yorkers are strong, New Yorkers are resilient, and our spirit will never be moved by an act of violence, an act meant to intimidate us. We have been tested before as a city very near the site of today's tragedy, and New Yorkers do not give in the face of these kinds of actions. We'll respond as we always do. We will be undeterred. And I want to thank everyone at the NYPD, all our first responders, for their extraordinary efforts in the midst of this tragedy, starting with the officer who stopped this tragedy from continuing, all of the first responders who came to the aid of those who were injured. Investigation is underway to get all the facts, and what we'll tell you today, of course, will be preliminary. But we know we will get down to the bottom of what happened. I want to ask all New Yorkers, all Americans, to keep the families of those lost in your thoughts and prayers. They will need our support. And I want to ask all New Yorkers to be vigilant. We know it's Halloween night, and we know in the days ahead people will be uneasy. We ask all New Yorkers to live by the idea: if you see something, say something, tell an officer immediately. If you see anything unusual, anything that worries you, be vigilant, and know that there will be extensive additional employments of NYPD officers this evening and throughout the days ahead. We will also keep you posted as this investigation continues and as the NYPD gains more information. Governor Cuomo.
Thank you. First, our thoughts and prayers are with those New Yorkers who we lost today. It reminds us all how precious life is. They left the house this morning. They were enjoying the beautiful west side of Manhattan on a beautiful fall day.
Well, we must leave Governor Cuomo there, but we did hear the New York Mayor Bill de Blasio telling that news conference that what has happened in New York was an act of terror. 8 people have died, over a dozen more injured.